The Death Guard are Nurgle's greatest mortal champions. They are traitor space marines and have been utterly consumed by the corruptive powers of death and decay. Combining their own toxic plagues with mutations granted by the Bloom, they'll become powerful obstacles for the Grey Knights.
The Bloom is Nurgle's gift to humanity, a plague unlike anything the Warhammer 40,000 universe has seen before.
As a galaxy-spanning plague, Bloom seems to spread through corrupted seeds, objects carried by Nurgle's minions that radiate with a foul essence, corrupting and mutating any life nearby. Once the Bloom infects a planet, it will slowly fester with these corrupted growths called Bloom spawn that will spread across the planet until all life is consumed, and it can be turned towards the Chaos God's designs.
As part of the main campaign storyline, you'll be delving into arcane lore, researching ways to combat this growing corruption.
Once a planet is infected by the Bloom, Nurgle can actively interfere with your combat missions, sparking warp surges that can cause all sorts of unpredictable events on the battlefield. Warp surges can summon new enemy reinforcements, trigger powerful boons and mutations in enemies, as well as restrict your knight's abilities.
The Bloom's mutations are a powerful tool of Nurgle that can transform the way an enemy fights, increasing their strength based on the strain of the Bloom's infection. For example, one planet may be infected with the strain of Pain, which tends to give enemies higher damage mutations. Others may be infected with the strain of Death, which tends to give enemies the ability to sap your knight's willpower.
Another factor you'll have to contend with is that the longer the Bloom is left to corrupt a planet, the stronger and more frequent these incursions will become. It's crucial to manage the Bloom's outbreak at the strategic level. On board your strike ship, the Baleful Edict, you'll have limited resources to spend trying to contain the plague. You can focus on researching powerful stratagems and purity seal upgrades for your weapons and armor. That'll give you an edge in combat. But you can also spend resources on your ship, improving its ability to respond quickly to new combat missions, and suppress the Bloom's corruption.
Against the forces of chaos, you'll have to make difficult choices that can have far-reaching consequences in the overall campaign. Ensuring your strike cruiser is operating at its fullest potential is vitally important to your success. This is a Warhammer 40,000 game, so we have the advantage of working with all the finely detailed Games Workshop miniatures as our reference. And the codexes give us a lot of material to work with as well.
The armaments and abilities of the knights and enemy units have been tied tightly to the miniatures that influenced them. But because our game mechanics are very different from the tabletop experience, we were able to pitch some tweaks and totally novel abilities for all the units, as long as they match the theme and lore requirements of the world. Throughout the campaign, you'll cross swords with greater demons, demon princes, and other gigantic foes. These are Nurgle's champions with unique abilities, and they represent a massive obstacle to defeat.
They're also a big change from the regular enemies you'll have been fighting up to that point. They destroy everything in their path. They can pick up and hurl knights through walls and crush them underfoot, even collapse whole sections of levels.
These are real David versus Goliath type battles. Each of the Lords of the Bloom has their own unique personality and strategies. Let's just say you'll need to put together a lot of what you've learned and built up with your knights to take these guys down.
Facing these bosses also means entering their domains, which sit at a precipice between real space and the warp.
These are among the most corrupt environments. Well, except for...
What?
The place at the end?
I really don't think we're supposed to talk about it yet.
Come on!
Alright, I guess one little peek wouldn't hurt.
If you're familiar with your demon Primarchs, you might notice someone in particular showing up in Chaos Gate Daemonhunters.